Hey, this is Jerry. One of our agents just called us about a house that they're contemplating putting an offer on, and they wanted me to check out the foundation to make sure that it's in good condition and it's stable and the client can move forward. Let's go check it out. Okay, so I'm at the house right now. So the foundation seems to be a slab on grade foundation. So what does that mean? A slab on grade foundation is where the foundation is actually poured on the dirt itself, right? So for example, you can see right here, this is the foundation and the grading is right here and the foundation is actually poured on the concrete. So this is a slab on grade foundation, right? So as an agent, you must know these basic things, right? To make sure that when you're talking to your client, you know exactly what kind of foundation that the client is buying. So when I'm looking at a foundation, right? So one other thing that I do is I look at the foundation and I look at the quality of the brick and I also look at gutters, downspout, right? So for example, this house has gutters in it. It appears to be draining properly. So there's gutters here, right? And there's a downspout here, and then it's actually draining. Although we would like it to be draining out this way, right? It actually is draining out towards the foundation here. And you don't want that. You always want the downspout to be draining away from the foundation. That's the first thing that I look at, right? So for example, here the brick appears to be fine, right? There's no cracks in the brick. The brick looks good. Again, on a foundation, it's not just a foundation, it's a multitude of action that makes the foundation bad, right? So you have to look at the crack, you have to look at the foundation, you have to look at the corner part, and you have to look at the drainage. So here's an example of a corner part, right? So you're looking at the foundation, right? So there's a crack right here. To me, that's not a big deal. To me, that is mostly cosmetic and it can be fixed pretty easy, right? Most of the home that you're gonna see in this area, it's going to have this corner part. And to me, the foundation is fine. That's not an issue right here. So we are in the interior of the house, right? So one thing that I look at is the windows, right? So for example, if you have foundation issues, the windows is going to be on level, right? So this window appears to be fine. There is no cracks and the windows appear to open properly. And visually, the window appears to be level, so that's not an issue here. However, if there is a foundation problem, you are going to see cracks throughout the house. Although they can be fixed, you have to have a trained eye to start looking at those cracks, right? So for example, looking at, there's no cracks here. Generally, the cracks will start coming diagonally in the drywall, in the corners, right? So if you are seeing cracks like this, then it's a sign there may potentially be foundation issues. I love when I'm looking at foundation, there's tile, right? On carpet, you really can't do it, but when I'm looking at this foundation right here, what I see a little dome here, meaning that the house is retaining water under the foundation, right? Again, I see unlevelness throughout this floor here. That's potentially could tell me there's a problem with the foundation, right? So earlier when I opened this door, so for example, earlier when I opened this door, again, you can see at the threshold here, this is lower than this. This is about a half an inch higher to the right side than the left side, right? So when I open this door, check this out. Again, that doesn't mean it's a foundation issue. It could be that the door was installed incorrectly. However, that's a sign to me, right? That's leading to me to let me know that this may be a bad foundation. So another point to consider about foundation is the drainage, right? So you want your house to have a proper drainage and you want the drainage to be flowing away from the foundation, not towards the foundation. For example, in this house, the drainage is going right under the foundation. Look at this, right? Although they put rocks here, which is a great aspect to get the water away from the house. However, it's grading towards the foundation. Look at this, right? So the drainage is actually right at the same level as the brick and the foundation is not even exposed, right? The concept is that foundation should be exposed at least 4 inches that you're able to see, right? And consequently, look at this, right? The water is draining right under the foundation. Look how wide this gap is, right? Almost 3/4 of an inch, right? So speaking of drainage, right? Look at this video right here. So you are looking this in the backyard. Everything is draining right here. Look at the water ponding right here. So this is not good for the foundation, not good for the soil. It's actually just a bad thing all around, right? So to me, that appears that at some point there was a tree here and they removed the tree and they never put it back up, right? So this is gonna create mosquitoes. It's gonna create all type of issues for the homeowner. If you have this in your backyard, you definitely wanna get your client to repair this and make sure that it's properly graded away from the house towards the back alley to make sure that it's draining properly. we love trees, right? And trees are awesome, right? They provide a lot of natural shade, right? It's good for the environment. However, it can be a bad thing for the foundation. Look at this tree right here, right? So as I'm looking at this tree right here, this tree is very close to the foundation. This tree is about 5 feet from the foundation, but look at the damage that it causes, right? So imagine this is your foundation right here, and the tree is close to the foundation. Look how much crack it is, right? And so basically what's happening is though, the roots of the tree is growing under the slab, and eventually it's going to break it, right? So you're gonna have one side that's gonna be higher, one side that's gonna be lower. Although we love trees, but that's one thing that I do though. When I build a house, I try to keep the trees away from the foundation. And if I do put trees close to the foundation, I make sure that the roots is not gonna grow under the foundation. Once you get the inspection report, don't panic, right? The inspection report will provide you all type of information. Cracks in the brick, the type of foundation, drainage, gutters, everything that is in the house, right? So it's up to you as the expert realtor to make sure that you go through the process and make sure that you understand every single point that the inspector is addressing. If it doesn't make sense to you, give us a call, right? Call the inspector and then go to the report with them and make sure that you understand exactly what the inspector is pointing out to you, so that we can inform your client to make sure you make a good decision with your client.